Welcome to this video, which is our weekly Forex forecast. It is Monday. It is the 23rd of January. It's 8:30 p.m. GMT. Now, as per usual, this is just a general overview of the markets. If you want our full technical trading techniques, daily analysis of 9 Forex pairs, and our fundamental analysis, get lifetime access for a limited period to our member centre on the link beneath this video. Now, in terms of the markets, said last week in the forecast, the currency that interests us is the JPY. Yeah, we think this year will be the year of the JPY, and it's so far doing very, very nicely now. In terms of USD JPY, been following that down since 117.65. Did a video yesterday saying that we thought it would be a sell through the 114 level. It's gone down quite nicely. It's down near 113 now. I mean, for more details, you can check the video. It's the one before this one on our channel if you haven't seen it. But see rallies being held by 115. I think we're going down to 111. Then, probably all the Trump rally being traced down to 106. If we get a big move to risk off, which I'll discuss a little bit later, then you can see the yen or the USD JPY go down back to par. Okay, I view most of the recent fall in USD JPY as just a technical correction. It's only now that the safe haven flows are starting to come in my view. As we get nervousness that Trump has actually been elected and people are worried or concerned about some of his policies. So USD JPY see far more downside. Also mentioned yesterday in the video the AUD JPY, that broke down really nicely as well. I think that's got far further to go on the downside. If you get a move from risk, commodity currencies are going to get hit hard. Also bearish of the New Zealand dollar on the JPY and the CAD JPY, which has moved nicely to the downside already. I think she's a sell back towards the 20-day moving average. In terms of euro yen, that has been a very choppy trade in recent weeks or months, but now I think she's breaking down. We're short at 121.80. I think we're going down to at least 119. I think the next level after that is 115 or 116, so plenty of downside in euro JPY. For us, longer term, the JPY is a buy on all major currencies. Right, moving to the British pound. Saying in the last forecast when we gapped lower down towards the 120 level, that gap should be filled. We were technically oversold, and also we just really sold off on we could have a hard Brexit. Well, we could, but that rumour's been around for a while. There was no more bad news to hit it in our view. Came back up nicely, filled the gap, and then moved all the way up to 125 where we're sitting now. Now, in terms of where we are now, I personally think we're going to 127.50. Okay, but if I wasn't in it, I'd probably wait for the pullback. There's good support in our view at 123 at the present time, so possibly wait for the pullback. But I do feel pound has got more upside. Still got a really big speculative net short position on those CFTC net traders. They're going to get shaken out in our view. If we look at the big picture to do with the UK, the data's decent, inflation is on the rise, and a sensible deal will be done between the EU and the UK in our view. As I said last week, from a pure risk-reward point of view, I preferred the pound long on the commodity currencies, and the pound has moved up very nicely on the CAD, the AUD and the New Zealand dollar. And in terms of how much further I think the pound could go, I think we could go all the way back up to December highs. Now, I think in terms of, I did a video on correlations yesterday as well in currencies. In my view, if we get a move to risk off, the European currencies are going to do better than the commodity currencies. So I favour the GBP over the AUD, CAD and NZD. Now, in terms of the pound on, what have we got next? A Euro GBP. Now, in terms of Euro GBP, we got caught out, stopped out in that big spike up, came back in through 87.80. We're now testing 86, which is a good support level. If it breaks, I think we're going down to 83, then 80. See, rally is now being held by 87. So I think euro going far lower now. Moving to the euro itself, not really much going on in euro USD. It's not that volatile. What you have had though is that euro grinding higher. We got stopped out of our short position. I don't actually see this pair as the best pair to trade at the moment. I think if you want to come in short, personally I'd come in through the round number below 107. I think if we crack that, we're going down to 104. I think the euro's just rallied on that general dollar correction, which I think is going to end, which I'll discuss a bit later. So just a sell if it breaks the round number, but for us, not the best pair at all. Now, in terms of Europeans over commodity currencies, same last week, like the look of Euro CAD, that's moved up really nicely. Euro, AUD, NZD, we haven't really moved that far yet. I think we're going to see good moves to the upside. Now, in terms of what have we got next? The Australian dollar. Australian dollar for us is extremely overbought at current levels, and on this week's CFTC Net Traders, you can see the commercials take out a huge amount of longs. Okay, they actually bought the rally. Now they're shedding their longs out. I would say that is a sign that we are near a top, and we should go back to at least the 20-day moving average. Now, in terms of the AUD, on the CAD, I quite like the look of that cross as well. AUD, very, very overbought. I think there's plenty of downside all the way back to the 20-day moving average. The AUD has done very well, but I think, in terms of moving to a more risk-off environment, which I think is going to happen, I think the AUD is going to suffer, and it's technically overbought as well. Now, in terms of the CAD, we had that really big fall down. Now we've got a nice rise up. We're at the 20-day moving average. If we can decisively take that out, I think we're going back to recent highs. If we don't, I'll be looking to key off the 132 support level for longs. Okay, so I think USD CAD is going higher. So buy the dip or buy clear break above the 20-day MA. What have we got next? New Zealand dollar. It's the same story as the Aussie, really. Next currency, I'm trying to think what I've missed out. Have I missed out one of the majors? Don't think I have. If I have, I'll remember, I'm sure, in a moment. USD on other European currencies. Obviously, we've had a general correction in the USD. I think, if you look at the USD Swiss franc now, you can see the USD trying to hold the par level. And I think if we can decisively hold that, we will be going far higher, back to recent highs, certainly the 20-day moving average. In terms of the other European currency, like Euro NOK, not Euro NOK, sorry, USD NOK, that's looking very oversold as well. I think we should bounce back to the 20-day moving average. Now, in terms of USD on emerging markets, we're bullish of USD on all of them, but we haven't been able to get into the Mexican peso or the Turkish lira. We just couldn't get good risk-reward entries, and I can't see one today when I'm doing this video. Now, in terms of what have we got? USD CNH offshore spot Chinese yuan. That was a really great uptrend, and we had that big correction on Chinese intervention. I think we're going higher in the USD, far higher. But I'd like to see us correct those recent lows and key off them on strength. Especially just getting a decent risk-reward entry. I don't see one at the moment. Interesting currency pair at the moment. Someone said, or wrote to me and said, you really like those CFTC Net Traders positions. Check out the RUB. The RUB itself, actually, if you look at the CFTC Net Traders, it's not heavily traded. But what you will see is, yeah, the speculators are very bullish of the rub. Commercials are extremely bearish in terms of their ratios. You look at the chart, you can see USD rub is trying to form a base. It looks like it's going to have a really good move to the upside. So it's one, yeah, if you're a position trader, I think this one could be quite good. Okay, yeah, slightly wider pip spread, but there's plenty of upside, especially if we start to get a bit of risk off now. In terms of other currencies, CHF and NZD, not NZD, CHF and SGD, my apologies. I was mentioning them in the correlations video yesterday. They are safe havens, okay, and they're worth a buy on the commodity currencies. And if you look, for example, at AUD CHF, the AUD is trying to be, trying to break out above recent highs. It can't do it. I think we're in for a significant break to the downside. Really need to see the 20-day MA give way, but I think there's plenty of downside in this one. AUD SGD has had a really big rally as well, starting to top out. I think we could go back to the 20-day moving average. So for us, the CHF and SGD a buy on the commodity currencies. Now, in terms of the markets generally, we've got, obviously, Trump is in power now, and now obviously there's a little bit of nervousness in the markets, particularly over his protectionist stance and the possibility of trade wars. I see them coming. Also see, really significantly more friction with China. We can see a trade war there. Relations are already not good with Trump angering the Chinese over the one China policy, and also those atolls in the South China Sea, which I can never remember their name, which America's been quite outspoken on in terms of the Chinese shouldn't be there and they should be prevented from being there. Now, personally, I think that's rhetoric, but it's not good to have the two biggest economies in the world at loggerheads. Okay, now obviously we've got the spectre of trade wars. In terms of Trump's fiscal policies, people are saying there's not enough clarity on them. That's why the dollar corrected recently. I don't think that at all. I think the dollar just corrected because it was overbought. I think in terms of his fiscal policies, we don't know the full details of them yet. But he might not get everything he wants done, but he's going to get a lot of what he wants done. That's what he was elected on. It's going to be inflationary. And you've already got inflation moving up nicely in the US anyway, so you're going to see rate hikes coming pretty quickly. Okay. Now, in terms of stock markets, they still remain very, very overbought. They've rallied up on Trump being elected. Basically on his fiscal policies. Okay. Now they've done that, so they've had their rally on that. Now, are they going to continue to the upside? You've got the potential for protectionism, and also you've got a whole host of problems in the global economy. The US is doing okay. I've said it before, best house in a bad neighbourhood. There's no other major economy that is creating significant growth. So what you've got is interest rates going up in the US. You've got nervousness, about possible trade wars. Stock markets, if you look at the US stock markets chopping sideways, don't rule it out going higher, because the stock market just surprised a lot of people, us included, over the last year. But I've got a feeling we are going to come down. And there are other issues in the global economy, which, of course, with Trump in the news, not many people are focused on. Okay, you still have a banking crisis in Europe. China is still in deep trouble with its debt levels going up and up. You've got capital outflows from China. You had a decent GDP number come out recently, but I've got a feeling that's just made up. I'm sure the Chinese data is not accurate. An example would be unemployment. That's, I think, in the last 20 years moved between 4.1 and 4.3%. Can that be right? Anyway, I think China, really big potential problems there, especially with the capital outflows possible devaluation of the yuan. So, I think you're seeing a little bit of nervousness in the markets at the moment, but I think we're going to see a lot more nervousness coming. So, obviously we favour the safe havens, and we see the USD dip. It's really a correction. It was very overbought, and on many majors it's corrected, and it looks like a buy on strength. Now, I hope I haven't missed any currencies out. That is the forecast for this week. I'll be back at the weekend. If you've ever got any questions or queries, please feel free to email me. Thank you.